Hi, this is Jan with What You Make It, and today I want to show you a mini album that I made when my son had the opportunity to be in an independent film called Searching for Winter. It was a great opportunity for him, and I want him to be able to remember all the great moments, the adventure, the ups, the downs, all the things that he got to do while he was doing this. And so to create this mini album, I started with a medical file folder, and I'm going to give you a little opportunity to see some different aspects of it here, but you'll see this is just what you would find at a doctor's office where they put the medical files in there. It has multiple pages already built into it, and it's a little bit sturdier than just a file folder, so it was a really good base to start with. I want to show this to you and tell you about a few of the techniques that I used when I made it. To begin with, I stamped Searching with some Technique Tuesday stamps and then used distress embossing powders on them. And one of the reasons that I liked those is because, as you can see here on the Searching, it actually after you have embossed with it, it rubs off and leaves a very distressed look. And since this was an adventure film that he was in, I wanted it to have that kind of look. The title of the film was called Searching for Winter, and I really like how this part of the title turned out. I used some Heidi Swapp clear acrylics and then used puffy paint, just that stuff that you used to use on t-shirts, and then after I put the puffy paint on there, I dropped some glitter on there, and that made it actually look like the winter. So let me begin showing you what we did past this cover. On the inside, you can see it has these brad, little flare brad things that you can use, and it's great for adding pages. Another thing that you might want to use a mini book like this for would be for birthdays, because you could do a page and add it to this book every year on a birthday or a particular event that your family does every year. I just wanted to have this as a way to document this film, but I think anything that you can add pages to easily really lends itself to doing it for something like an annual event, like a birthday or an anniversary. On the inside here, I actually created an acetate transparency that I could run through my printer and print. So I did my journaling on here, and back here I did a little masking with some spray paint. I know that we use masks quite a bit for things, but I found that you can use spray paint and it'll give you a nice effect. I also used some glimmer mist just to give it a little shine and put my photos on the page. And then when you lay the transparency over it, it gives a little depth and lets you see the pictures in the background but still have your journaling. This tag was made using the Heidi Swapp masks, and all I did was I used the outline of the letters that were there, and then I inked over it with distress ink and added just a touch of embossing powder. Before I actually did the heat embossing, I removed the masks and then did the embossing, and it just gave it a really nice distressed look. Added some library paper and a couple of journaling spots to the back. This was the film poster, so I made it smaller and put it in here. But see, you can see here where I added multiple pages with pictures and journaling just by opening up these bendable, I don't know what these things are called, but they're wonderful. And I could just add continued pages here until I got all the way through the story. Love using these Scrabble tiles sometimes to make a title for a page. Over here on this page, again, just doing some layering of the pictures, did a little distressing around them, and raised up my title. This was created with alcohol ink and stamps. I'll do a tutorial on how to do this particular technique, but it is so simple, very fun, very simple. And on this particular page, what I did that I really enjoyed was I used a stamp to put a flourish here in the center. And then when I had finished stamping, I went back with some embroidery thread and poked holes wherever the stamp was, and then just stitched in there. And I think it gives a real nice texture and dimension to this particular page. Where you have a lot of photos, I didn't want a lot of embellishments on it, just wanted to have something that added some textures and drew all the pictures together. On this one, I took both a green and an orange embroidery thread and mixed them together. On the side here, I have a little tag here. One of the things that Weston had to do in order to be in this film was learn how to scuba dive, because a lot of it was filmed underwater and he had to be scuba certified. So this was, as a sixth grader, that was a pretty big new thing for him to do, and so I wanted to document what he had to do, and here again I used some masking just to make a little tag to put that information on. And then here at the very end, one of the things that I did was I took a DVD little holder so that we could put a copy of the film in here, and I used a little film strip inserting some of his pictures, just as a really quick way to keep everything in place so that when he is older he will be able to look back and have these memories. The final thing that I did that I thought was really fun is I am the worst at wanting to throw away product packaging. This was actually a sheet of coasters that I believe were by Technique Tuesday, and once I punched them all out I saw that I had all these frames, so I ended up using it as a collage to put pictures from different days of filming and that sort of thing, so it just gives an overview. I hope that you will look at supplies that you might find at your office supply store differently, because I find when I walk into Staples or Office Max that there are all kinds of great products that would be super for making a mini album out of. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you will join me again for What You Make It.